Strayman or something.
Okay, I think YouTube goes automatically, and then all you have to do is hit go live for the.
You got the thing of the right stuff and.
Oh, see, I don't know.
I mean, but you got like the title and whatever.
Yeah, I think so. One's not here, so I have no idea.
Okay.
Make sure the red dots are on the Cubase. I think we're ready to roll.
Get the red dots. Do you want the red dot or the blue dot? If you choose the red dot, then we see how far this recording goes. Ready?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Warning, the Catholic Man Show contains high levels of manliness. If you think you may be too weak to withstand the manliness represented in the following program, please do yourself a favor and stop listening now. If you choose to continue in spite of this warning, if at any time you feel yourself overcome by the manliness, stop immediately and consult your closest medical professional. And now, for the not-so-fair, faint, or frilly, we present The Catholic Man Show.
Welcome to the Catholic Man Show. We're on the Lord's team, the winning side, so raise your glass. Going a little OG tonight.
Are you going to tell the story about this guy?
You think I should?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably so.
It's an incredible story.
Yeah, probably so. So we don't have Juan tonight. We don't have Jim this evening.
It is literally just you and I.
This is how it began.
This is where it all started.
Yeah. Maybe as I open this, because I'm having I'm on the struggle bus here.
You want me to do it?
No, I'm good. Why don't you tell them like how the Catholic Man Show started? Because we're getting some new listeners.
We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, why don't you tell them?
So Adam and I accidentally started a Catholic radio station here in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, Broken Arrow, America, back in circa 2013. That's actually a true story. We were just minding our own business, got a weird email, and then the next thing we knew, we had a Catholic radio station. And so we were just doing some analysis, as one does. And we would, we mostly run EWTN here in the Tulsa station. And they provide us with just fantastic content, all for free. Thank you, Mother Angelica, and all the folks at EWTN. But we realized, like, okay, there's a lot of shows that are specifically geared towards women. And there were certainly fewer that were specifically targeted towards men, and we didn't feel like there certainly weren't any targeted at the whiskey drinking, cigar smoking young Catholic man that we found ourselves living and being, right? And so it's like we should make a show for us, and it was just going to be a Tulsa show. We were just trying to get Tulsa famous,
put them on the map.
That's it. So we started the show, and then our timing was really good. Podcasting was just becoming more popular. So at the time, there were very few Catholic podcasts. I mean, there's like Catholic Stuff You Should Know.
Mm-hmm. Catching Foxes.
And Pints with Aquinas started like 2 weeks before us.
I thought it was after. I thought we were definitely before them.
Okay, so we were 2 weeks before him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So anyway, it's like within weeks of each other we started. And so, and I don't know how long the Lanky guys were doing a podcast. I know they've been around for a while. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been around, but
anyway,
that was it. Back then, it was like not a lot of options. Okay. So a lot of people found themselves listening to the Catholic Man Show. Praise God. So anyway, that's how we got started. And now we're at least Tulsa Metro famous.
Ooh.
If not Tulsa proper.
Man,
which is a way bigger deal.
Especially in the 4% Catholics.
Right, exactly. If you're one of if you're one of the 4% people who are Catholic in the Diocese of Tulsa, there is a 50% chance that you know who we are.
Could that be my headstone?
That would be a hilarious headstone.
Okay, so one of the things we do on the show is we open and review and enjoy a beverage. This evening we're drinking George Remus straight bourbon whiskey. It is 47% ABV.
Yep.
I'll tell a story about George Remus. Remus?
I'd say Remus.
Remus? Okay, we're on the Lord's team.
The winning side.
So raise your glass.
Cheers to Jesus.
Cheers. So George was known as the king of bootleggers. He was originally a defense attorney. He was made famous by the defense of insanity, like temporary insanity.
He invented it?
He's
the first one to come up with temporarily insane.
Yeah, temporary insane as a defense.
Okay.
Makes a lot of money.
Using
that as a defense
card,
attorney.
Yeah.
I think
that card over and
he was making like $500,000 a year at that time, which is in 1920.
A lot of money.
Or in 1915s, 1920s.
Yeah.
Which is almost like $6 million in today's money. But he started realizing that the people he was representing in court were bootleggers, and they were making even more money.
They were way richer than him.
So he decided to put all his money into bootlegging. Bought up all of the distilleries around, moved to Cincinnati, which was where most of the liquor was coming out of. And he was able to, because he was very familiar with the law, was able to kind of scapegoat the prohibition and like kind of work the system, so to speak. He's a character that is known on The Great Gatsby, like influenced by The Great Gatsby.
The Great Gatsby character could have been based off of
him.
George Remus.
Not guaranteed, but they said
possible.
Right. He was known for his hospitality. He's known for throwing these big parties. In fact, he threw a party where one of his party gifts for the men, you get this diamond-studded pin, and then for the women, a car. It's ridiculous.
I wish you showed up in a dress to that party.
Yeah. So anyway, he becomes a bootlegger, gets caught, gets put in jail, tells the guy, his inmate, that it's okay, don't worry. Becomes friends with him, tells him that his wife has all the money. Well, his inmate was actually a Secret Service dude and was planted in there.
Bummer.
But the guy decides to step away from Secret Service.
Instead of reporting the matter.
Right. He steps away, resigns from his position, goes to George's wife and marries her.
To get the money. She divorces George, and the divorce settlement gives him $100 and takes the hundreds of millions of dollars that he's made, and they run away. George gets out of prison. He's furious. He goes to obviously.
He takes her to court. On the way out of court, he gets into his car and rear ends the car and pins her down, shoots her in the stomach. The shot kills her. And in court for the murder charge, he claims temporary insanity.
Temporary insanity. In case you didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, and wins. He gets acquitted. And then they put him in a... I'm
not laughing at the fact that he got off with killing his wife. It's just like the irony of the whole thing.
Right. So then they put him in an insane asylum because he says he's temporarily insane. Well, how he put the story together was he was temporarily insane.
Right.
So he only spent 7 months in the insane asylum, was released, and lived the rest of his life. Died at the age of 73 or something like that. But pretty ridiculous.
Whatever happened to the Secret Service dude?
I don't know.
Because he presumably made off with all the money.
Yeah, he sold, he liquidated all of George's assets and sold all of his distilleries and everything just to...
That way he wasn't committing a crime that he too would go to jail for.
Right. So he just liquidated everything and took all the money. It's ridiculous. What do you think of the whiskey?
It's good. I was actually kind of wrapped up in the story that I'm just sitting here sipping on it and wasn't even paying attention. Because that was an incredible story.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So on the nose, there's apple, candy apple, little vanilla.
You can tell it's stronger. Sometimes you get a whiskey that's, this 50,
Ooh,
that's
yeah, it
50
is.
proof, and you drink it and it's like, wow, you can't even tell. This one you can kind of tell that.
Yeah,
It's
it
a higher
captures
ABV.
So it says it captures the rebellious spirit of the era of Prohibition, with a hint of vanilla, maple aroma, and sweet yet characteristic rye flavor. I thought it tasted like a rye. Like it hit me like a
yeah.
rye whiskey. I didn't realize it was, but it's not. It's a straight bourbon whiskey.
So but it just tastes like a rye?
Yeah.
Is that what it's saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's got rye qualities to it.
So
Interesting.
anyway,
How much was it?
I think it was about $50.
Okay.
I think actually it was 45.
All right.
So it would be a fun whiskey to tell, or to have with the story.
Yeah, just so you
Involved.
can tell the story about this dude.
Yeah, which is pretty ridiculous.
'Cause I don't know if there's a picture of a guy on the front. I don't know if it's actually a picture.
It is. It's actually him.
That is the George Ramus. I mean,
Yeah.
that looks like a dude who would have done the things that you just described.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. Hey, dude, we're going to Ireland in like 2 weeks. Oh, hey, hold on. This is like your last episode to record at 35 years old.
Yeah, dude. Oh man.
What was your favorite part about being 35?
Having a baby last week.
Yeah, well, you didn't have the baby. But
Right, but my wife and I did.
Yeah. I was working hard.
I count. I'm in on it, bro.
Yeah.
It's my baby.
Yeah. So, do you want to say her name or?
Yeah. So we had little Susanna Marie.
Mm-hmm.
She was born on the 21st.
Of August?
Everything went great. She's healthy little baby. Mom's doing awesome. Lady Pamela's.
She looks just like Bernadette.
She's amazing. Yeah. It's weird how all my kids look the same.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that was my favorite part about being 35.
Yes.
To answer your question.
And you're gonna be
I'm gonna be 36.
36 like me.
Still in my mid 30s.
right now for a couple more days.
No, 36 is still mid 30s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 30, 31, 32.
I just feel like once you get past 35, you're no longer the mid. Like you're now in.
Yeah, so you got 30, 31, 32, 33.
Yeah.
Those are your early 30s.
Right.
34, 35, 36.
Mid.
And maybe even if you get, let's just say 37
Let's throw in
is
if we're making
'cause
up
otherwise,
rules like
then it's
this.
38, 39. Oh, no, it's not.
No.
37, 38, 39. Late 30s. Still mid 30s.
All right. Good deal. Well, when we get back, we're gonna talk about traditions in the domestic church this evening.
Okay?
I also want to get your opinion on something that we don't normally do on the Catholic Man Show.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe.
We'll be right back.
We gotta go to like jobs to do over here and stuff.
I know it's crazy. We gotta like actually do things. What are you doing? Why are you doing that?
I want to see what these people said. It's too far away.
He's old and his eyes are bad. They give the Wikipedia page. That's what that looks like.
Yeah.
Who is it? Who gave it?
One of them is John Benjamin David
J-
Tatum.
John Benjamin David Tatum. What a name.
Anthony Nuccio.
And Anthony Nucci. Oh yeah, Anthony. Anthony's a Patreon member.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/The Catholic Man Show.
You should go there.
All right, let's keep rolling.
I'm ready. It's this button this time, I'm pretty sure. Oh no.
You didn't record that? No. Okay, I'm gonna have to pull it from the live stream.
I am recording it now.
Oh man.
That makes you feel better.
No, it doesn't. That's still extra work.
Yeah. It's got a lot. Probably a lot.
Thanks, dude.
Sorry, bro. I'm off my game. Welcome back to the Catholic Man Show. I'm David Niles. The whole thing works better when you click the record button first. It's okay.
Adam can fix it.
We have contingency plans for this. Sort of.
Adam will fix it.
He will.
Okay.
But, so, no man gear today.
No, but I want to get your thoughts on a couple things
Okay.
Before we get into the topic. First of all, I'm just going to give a little shout out to myself. When's the last time you gave a shout out to yourself?
This morning.
Okay. Nice. New podcast that I'm involved with.
Ah, yes, dude. Why don't you tell us about it, Adam.
I was planning on it. Yeah.
I'm asking you.
That's why I brought it up.
You don't have to give yourself a shout out. I'll ask you.
Okay, very good. Tulsa Time with Bishop Condola. So I'm the Director of Communications for the Diocese of Tulsa in Eastern Oklahoma. One of the new initiatives that we've started is a podcast, but not just a podcast with Bishop. We have an overarching Eastern Oklahoma Catholic podcast. Within that is Tulsa Time with Bishop Condola, where I sit down with Bishop and talk all things Catholic happening in Eastern Oklahoma. Episode 2 dropped today. So it's a new podcast.
Second most popular episode so far.
Yes, and possibly top 10 Catholic podcasts in Tulsa.
Ooh, you don't say. How many Catholic podcasts are there in Tulsa?
I don't think there's more than 10.
Right. But I think that's awesome because there are not many bishops on podcasts.
Right. So it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. So
I say that. Not that I know of anyway.
I mean, there are some, but there's not a whole lot. And Bishop Condola is just so good about just
he's awesome.
Very comfortable, very, just very casual, very
he's
like friend.
Casually awesome.
Right. We actually have had him on the show. You can go check that out on thecatholicmanshow.com. You can look up our topic with. We had an episode with Father Philip Bochansky and him talking about same-sex attraction, which is something that we will be talking about on Tulsa Time as well.
Okay.
We're going over the Synod right now, kind of answering some of the questions that we got from the Synod, and then we're going to be talking about the Eucharist.
Oh, I love the Eucharist.
Yeah, we actually did just an episode on that just last week, 2 weeks ago.
I love the Eucharist.
But something. Let me throw this out here at you. So if you're in Tulsa, check out Tulsa
there a question?
Time.
Were you asking me a question yet?
Not yet. No, it's coming right now.
It's still coming.
Yeah. One thing we don't normally do on the Catholic Man Show is talk about current events. We don't do this. We don't talk about things that are happening currently in the Catholic world, mainly because we're not the best at it. We're not very good at it. We don't have time to keep up with it. There are other people that do it better, and so we're trying to stick to our niche, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like also current events usually don't matter.
They also are exhausting.
Right.
However,
they're clickbaity. They're also divisive. So
we try to talk about virtue. We try to talk about things that
actually will make a difference in your life.
Yeah, your friendship. We're going to talk about a lot of that stuff even tonight. But one thing I do want to ask you.
Okay.
I want to get your thoughts on Shia LaBeouf's interview with Bishop Barron.
I thought it was incredible.
It was really crazy. You watched that before I did, which is really weird that you
Unusual.
were, ahead of the curve, so to speak, and then was like, I've already watched it. And I was like, what?
Yeah, because my typical MO is I'm going to wait for about 5 people to say, oh, you have to watch. I thought
you were going to say 5 years.
No, sometimes it takes that long. Because if it doesn't get that much critical acclaim from my friends or something, then it's probably not worth it's I'm sure it's good, but I've got other things going on, and my personality is look, if it's not right in front of me, it basically doesn't exist.
I'm very well aware.
Yeah. But we did watch that.
Yeah.
I thought it was amazing to hear Shia's just very honest interpretation of the faith. And sometimes the way he would describe things. One time he described the difference between 2 things using a sound effect. Just takes all the air right out.
Yeah.
It's all right. I mean, you know what? I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And it was just funny, how he did it. Everyone should go watch it. It's the Bishop Barron interview with Shia LaBeouf.
It was really good.
He's playing Padre Pio in an upcoming movie.
Right. I really hope that, obviously I hope that he has a strong prayer life currently. Obviously the spiritual warfare game is going to ramp up on him.
Everybody should pray for him because I feel like the next month is probably going to be the most dangerous month of his life. when it comes to the path of like his soul. He's either gonna stick, like be reinforced,
Mhm.
or have the foundation that he's built start to be eroded.
Right. I almost hope that he just kind of goes back into hiding
Me too.
and just
That'd
go
be,
back.
It'd be good for him. Go
you
back
know-
to the monks.
Yeah. But that was pretty interesting. I enjoyed enjoyed the interview.
Yeah, no, I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah. Okay, so do we want to get into the topic, or do
Hey,
you have
you're
anything
the
else?
one in charge today.
That's dangerous. Do we have anything else? We talked about Ireland. Talk about your new baby.
Yeah, I had a baby. Go to patreon.com
Mm.
/ the Catholic Man Show. If you like the Catholic Man Show and you want to support everything that we do here, we need your support. Go to patreon.com / the Catholic Man Show. All the money that we receive there goes straight to the show. Adam and I are volunteers here on the Catholic Man Show. This is not our day job. We don't pay ourselves from doing the show. So
There's very few things that you can give to that 100% goes back into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no. Well, the only overhead is what Patreon
Takes from us.
takes, but they provide a good platform for us to use, so that's
all
we're,
we
we're
use.
happy to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, go there and you can check out if different support levels. We're going to send you different thank you gifts. One thing we haven't talked about in a long time is our signature Glencairn glass here.
We've had them for over 5 years.
Over 5 years, we've given away maybe 1,000 of these. Well, we haven't given away 1,000. We have given away or sold probably 1,000.
Yeah, probably 1,000 of them.
So this is a Glencairn glass. You can see it on your screen if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. This is a glass designed by science to make your whiskey taste better. And on it, you'll find what is a strikingly manly logo. It's the Catholic Man Show logo, featuring 2 razor-sharp axes. You can't necessarily tell, but
you can trust us.
I will tell you that the axes are, in fact, razor-sharp. You could shave with these.
Yeah.
JMJ, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. All with a nice logo. This logo, it's not a sticker, okay? It's laser etched with lasers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dishwasher safe. And we'll send it to you if you become a patron for $10 a month or more as a thank you gift, because we appreciate your support.
Another thing that we're going to start doing is giving away our book as a thank you gift.
Yes.
I don't know.
We have a book.
Yes, but I don't know what level. We haven't really talked about that, but that's something we are planning on doing. So go check that out. You can check out our new book as well from Ascension Press.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We found out today that if you go to ascensionpress.com/livingbeyondsunday, it will go to our book.
Yeah, it redirects you to a much longer website, which is nice.
Yeah.
So every dollar that we get, most of our support money goes into marketing for the show, to help us.
Dude, we didn't talk about the camp out. The camp out's coming up.
Oh, the camp out's coming up. Let me finish the marketing part. Because we want to try to reach as many people on the fringes as we can. People who are, maybe not necessarily taking their faith as seriously as they'd like, or just looking for good Catholic inspiration. Guys who feel like, they like to drink whiskey and smoke cigars. Is there a Catholic podcast for me? If that, we want to find them. So help us find them.
Mm-hmm.
Patreon.com. The camp out.
The camp out.
We'll be opening up on September 1st.
September 1st. Yes, I've been getting a ton of emails from people. I knew as soon as we put that out on our email blast that it's coming up, that some people would not read it, but just see the pictures. And I've been getting a crazy amount of emails. I cannot respond to everybody's email.
On September 1st.
That is when we're going to.
So this podcast will have come out.
Yeah, I don't have my phone on me. I don't know even what is September 1st Thursday?
September 1st is Thursday.
So the podcast will be out. Yeah, but yeah. So Thursday, September 1st. That's when we're opening it. The first people who get a first shot at it is the patrons. Yep.
And let's just be honest. If you're not a patron member, you're not going to get to sign up.
It'll be very hard.
It's the odds are low.
The odds are
because
low.
last year it filled up in 3 hours. 100% from.
I think we had 2 people that got in that were not patrons.
How'd they get in?
Well, I think we had some cancellations. And
okay, yeah, that's true. But anyway,
so
if you want to go, you need to go become a patron.
Yeah. So
and it's free if you're a patron.
Right, and if you're not, it's $50. So
Which
it's still a
even
phenomenal
$50
deal.
does not cover all
The cost.
costs.
No, it does not cover the cost. But so what we do is we go to the Clear Creek Abbey, which is here in Tulsa, or here in Oklahoma, where there's Benedictine monks. We've talked about Clear Creek several times. In fact, you can go on YouTube, and we've had several discussions with monks on the podcast. It's been awesome. But you get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Juan is on the food duty. He's like
fantastic chef.
Yeah, just cooking like crazy.
I'm sorry, he's a chef.
Chef, yeah. We have Tyler McKee and Vincent Lafayette and a bunch of other guys who are helping with the food. We have Daniel Zitrick is also one of the guys that help with the food. Then we have axe throwing. We have forging exposition. We have saw cutting.
We have a forge in the camp out. I mean, you can just like go over to it.
Cigar rolling. We have a professional cigar guy come out and teach us how to roll cigars. We have praying the liturgy, the hours with the monks.
Mass every
day. We're get a talk from the monks. It's just a glorious weekend.
Beer.
Yep. Plenty of beer, whiskey tasting.
Yeah.
Live Catholic Man Show episode.
You want to be at the camp out.
You're going to want to be there. Go to patreon.com/The Catholic Man Show and support us. We're going to talk about traditions of the domestic church right after this break.
Ba-do-do-do-do. Welcome back to the Catholic Man Show. I'm David Niles here with Adam Minahan. We're getting ready to talk about traditions.
You're just gonna take the intro for the third. Apparently,
yeah.
We're just gonna break tradition. We're talking about tradition. You're gonna break tradition within talking about tradition.
Adam, I'm not breaking a tradition. I'm starting a new one. Okay? Don't be all negative Nancy over here.
Okay, well,
starting new tradition.
New tradition of the Catholic Man Show.
That we can start new ones of the next time.
You bring us back in.
3 times. That's what it takes for a tradition. In my opinion, 3 times is a tradition.
Okay.
Twice
is a habit?
No, twice is a like
reoccurrence.
Reoccurrence. 3 times tradition.
Okay. Well, that actually really segues well into the topic tonight, because the first question I was going to ask you
is how many times to make a tradition?
No.
3.
No. How do you discern for your family what traditions to take on and what not to take on? There's tons of great traditions out there, right? Especially the beautiful thing about the Catholic Church is that in all of her wisdom and beauty, that she provides us with a plethora of different types of traditions, devotions, things to draw us closer to our Lord for all different people, for all different walks of life. So you can get really overwhelmed and not do any of them well if you take on too many, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So how do you, as the spiritual leader of your family, discern what to do for your family?
Well, I've been raised Catholic, so I've encountered a lot of them. Not all of them at all, by any means. Certainly.
Have you done the liturgical dancing or anything?
Oh yeah, dude, we do. Yeah, give me a break.
Every Tuesday.
Right.
Okay. We
have sashes, silk banners.
I didn't know sashes were like a prerequisite.
Dude, you can't liturgical dance without like liturgically colored sash.
See, these are things I didn't know.
Oh, bro.
Sorry.
Give me a break.
I'm sorry I offended you.
But so yeah, I've encountered a lot of the traditions, but certainly not all of them, and certainly not all of them done well, right? Because there's a difference between doing a tradition and doing it well, like you said. But the way that we decide which ones to do are, well, what are the ones I like? I'm the one in charge, so I'm gonna pick the ones I like. And also, if the kids ask, "Hey, can we do this?" like so and so is doing it, it's like, well, sure, we can try it and see how it goes. If it doesn't fit well with our family life, then probably leave it. But over the last couple of years, we've had the opportunity to implement a lot more from working from home, like praying the Angelus at noon.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite things about being able to work from home is that, I was working upstairs here in the studio, and I had an alarm on my phone. Noon hits, or actually I had it at 11:55. Walk downstairs, help with the last minute lunch preparations. Boom, pray the Angelus.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Yeah, and there's like fun things that we like to do. There's a tradition.
No, okay, hold on. Before you get into your traditions.
Yeah.
Is the reason why you pick the ones you like is because you will be more motivated to do so? Or is it just because it's like, no, I just like this idea?
Well, no, I typically am not, just my own temperament is that I don't lack motivation to do the things I've decided to do. Sometimes I lack motivation to do the things that other people want me to do and I don't want to do. But if I've decided to do it...
I don't understand.
Yeah, if I've decided to do it, I don't know, just the way I think about it is I actually don't think about it anymore. I'm just doing it because I decided. And I don't question it anymore. I just do it, which is nice. That has some benefits for me. But I do them because I think they're nice. They're beautiful, and I think they're a good way of instructing our kids in the faith. It's those tangible ways of taking. Here's what our faith believes, and if we believe that, then shouldn't we practice something, right? So like every article of faith should come with an outward behavior. There should be something about, well, if we believe fill in the blank, if we believe X, shouldn't we behave like Y, right? So having those traditions, they reinforce those articles of faith, that what we believe as Catholics.
Would you consider starting a tradition within your family, your family, that you do not necessarily like, but you think would benefit your family?
Well, if I think it would benefit my family, then I would like it.
What if it wasn't like...
if I found it annoying?
Or it wasn't like to your spiritual temperament, or, it wasn't it wasn't what fulfilled you in your spiritual life.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
I'm also pretty easygoing.
That's true. Yes.
There are some things that the kids want to do that I put the kibosh on.
Pretty quick.
Like praying stupid prayers before meals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That drives me crazy. You know what bothers me? It's not even that they're like little kiddish. Like there's this one, tick tock, now it's time to pray. Like the kids love it. We fold our hands and bow our heads, and this is what we say. God is great, God is good, and we thank him for our food. Amen. Not a blessing, actually.
Just some statements.
Yeah, it's like, we thank you for this food. Okay, that's a good thing to do, but you didn't actually ask God to bless the food, which is what we're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
All right, so it's a pet peeve of mine. It's like, no. If we're going to bless the food, then we're going to ask him to bless. I mean, if you're not asking him, there's a thing about prayer in that, like, the action of the prayer is based on what the prayer says.
Okay.
Yeah. And so if you don't say, God, please bless the food, then you're not actually asking him. He's not going to bless the food. You didn't ask him to do that, Mm-hmm. Even if you kind of thought it was the same, it's not. Thanking him for the food is great.
Yeah, there's a thing that my kids came home from after a Bible study or a vacation Bible school one time, summer vacation Bible school, where after they prayed, they said, rock solid.
And put their hands up in the air.
Yeah, and I was like, nope, we're not doing that.
Yeah, I also don't really like that.
It's inappropriate.
It's
irreverent.
It's not reverent. I don't know if it's inappropriate, but it's irreverent.
Right, so we're not doing that.
Right,
but the kibosh on some of those things too.
Right,
yeah.
because like reverence is already hard enough to enforce.
Yes.
For little kids
it really
in prayer,
is. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't need to add. We don't need to fuel the flame.
How have you been able to cultivate reverence in your family? Like how
posture.
So the external acts?
Yeah, external things. Yeah, so like when we pray, you kneel. If you're not kneeling, you're going to be in trouble. Like I have a son who's 2. He doesn't get in trouble for not kneeling, but he does kneel. Mm-hmm. We make him kneel. Mm-hmm. If during the prayer he stands up, he's 2, okay? Like he's not getting in trouble. But my 4-year-old, if she's not kneeling, she's going to get in trouble.
Right.
Because like, look, it's my house. And as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And that means that, like, and I'll tell my children, look, you're 4. You don't know what to do. I'm telling you, and this is what we're going to do in our house.
Mhm.
And so those sorts of things have an effect on your interior disposition. Your exterior position influences your interior disposition.
Yeah.
Sort of like when we were slaughtering animals with
Brandon Sheard.
yes, thank you, Brandon Sheard. We had some sheep, and he was saying, like, yeah, you just lay them down, kind of grab them and hold them still, and then they can't run. And because they're not able to run, their heart rate goes down. Just like, they're just pretty dumb, first of all, but
I love how you're making this correlation. These are
but
interesting
the
correlations.
fact that he was controlling the sheep's body, he was explaining, is that now he's also controlling the sheep's mind, because like the two things are connected. Okay, and we're also animals. You know, we're much higher than sheep.
Praise God.
We're so much smarter than the sheeps. But it's the same principle that, if you control your body, you can control your mind. It helps.
Okay.
So that's one way that we do reverence. Another thing we do is like light candles,
Mm-hmm.
because that has a way of focusing your attention.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of distracts you from the other distractions, because it's something about fire that you just like will sit there and watch, right? It also, I feel like, calms everything. You light a candle, all of a sudden things get calmer.
Right. I agree.
Little stuff like that.
Okay. Cool.
What about you?
Well, how do I discern?
Before we pray, everyone gets a spanking.
Yes. Well, are you asking me how do I discern
do you have anything
traditions
or
or reverence?
Help for reverence.
Well, some of the things that you've already said is what we do as well.
Uh-huh.
One thing that I like that we try to do is like I try to be reverent.
Oh, sure.
So, when we are praying and we're kneeling, I am kneeling and I have my hands, folded, and my head is bowed, and like I'm setting the example. So,
Yeah.
that's kind of a
I used
given.
to always
but
close my eyes, and then I realized one time when I opened my eyes, it's like, oh no,
can't do that.
no. Actually, I need to
You fake.
be a little bit more vigilant.
You fake close them.
Right? Yeah. Do the. It's like
where
95%. I
yeah.
can see through my eyelashes.
Right. That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's how you have to get around that. But how I discern different family traditions is I also just take on the things that I like is in my spiritual life that I think would benefit my family in the spiritual realm. But I also try to look for things that we do already, and I say, okay, how can I bring this to how can I baptize this almost and bring our faith into this? So, meals are very easy. You have to eat. So these are great times to pray, right? Getting into the car is easy. We do this all the time. So this is an opportunity to pray. There's just things and we don't do that very well, but I'm just saying, like, I try my best to find things that we're already doing and then, bringing prayer or bringing our faith into those things.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
we'll be right back. So did you record? You recorded over that very end, by the way.
It's still there.
I think it trumps it.
No,
Okay, it doesn't? Good.
it's still there. It's just behind it.
Okay, good. I'm fine. I believe you.
See the.
Oh, yeah, it's grayer. Okay, good. All right, let's keep going. I have not even got into basically really what we were
That's
going
what
to
you
talk
get for
about.
asking me questions, bro. It's dangerous.
That's okay.
Ready?
It's still fun. Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
Thank you. Welcome back to the Catholic Man Show. It's very interesting to bring us back on the fourth break. We're starting a new thing this week.
What do people even know?
Typically what happens is I bring us into the show. Dave picks the second segment.
Switch.
I go third. You go fourth. Dave jumped the gun.
It just felt like it's my turn.
Yeah. So I have a lot of things I want to get to. If you're listening on the radio, make sure to go check us out on thecatholicmanshow.com. You can check out over 300 episodes that we've done, but specifically this one because after we run out of time on the radio, we will continue this on the podcast. One of the things that I did want to bring up, though, as we're talking about traditions and implementing traditions within the domestic church, this book is awesome, okay? It's one that you can try to find. It's no longer in print, so it's harder to find.
Yeah.
I think you can find it in a PDF format online,
Okay.
and it may be free, so it's worth checking out. But it's called Handbook of Christian Feasts and Customs. Okay, it's by Father Francis Weiser. That's I think it's Weiser, Weiser.
I can never remember in German if you pronounce, when the E and the I show up, if you pronounce the first one or the second one.
Weiser.
It's Weezer or Weiser.
Yeah. It's a phenomenal book on the things of Catholicism, and not only like their feast days, but it gives the traditions.
Mm-hmm.
It gives like the history behind it. It gives the folklore of each tradition, which is really cool, which is, the oral tradition passed down.
Yeah.
And so it's really awesome. Now, it goes by the old calendar because it was before 1950, I think, was when it was published. But it's still really, really cool. And
but the same would be true for all the feasts. They would just be maybe on a different day.
Right. So
a lot of them will be the same.
So it's broken down into 3 parts. The first part breaks down in Sundays, weekends, Ember days, and Rogation days.
Okay.
And then the second part is specific liturgical seasons. And then the third part is the veneration of saints, the veneration of Mary, and saints' days. Nice. So it's really cool. Like, yeah, it has a lot to offer. One of the things in the very beginning, it talks about on Sundays, in the folklore section, which I love, it talks about the hearing of children at breakfast or dinner on Sundays. The hearing. Okay. And it says, during the meal, the father gravely listens while the children repeat as best they can what the priest has preached on the Sunday sermon and what he has announced. If any corrections or explanations are in order, the mother usually provides the answer. Thus, the parents make sure that the children have paid attention to the Word of God and understand what was preached. Finally, there's and then it keeps going, talking about the importance of wearing nice clothes and decorum on Sundays. But I loved that idea.
Yeah.
It was just like a little snippet of this really, it's a big book of just easy things that you can start doing today. On Sunday, you can sit down. Most people have, a family Sunday brunch or lunch.
Well, it's interesting that they say, breakfast is after Mass, because back then you would have had to fast starting at midnight.
Right.
And so, everyone went to Mass real early, and then you would come back and have breakfast afterwards. Mm-hmm. Now, with the hour fast, it's so weak. Hour fast, it's not a fast at all. It's like, okay, basically, you can't. You have to start
while you're
fasting
driving.
Once you get in the car to drive to Mass.
Right.
No more eating at that point.
Right. Right. Yeah. But I really love the book. It's actually really beautiful. When it gives a lot of really good ideas for feast days of Mary, for different saint days. Mm-hmm. It's a great book. Highly, highly recommend it.
Nice.
So I wanted to ask you. So here's something that I implemented on Sundays.
Okay.
That actually, my inspiration was the Clear Creek monks.
Okay.
After Mass, everybody comes home, right?
Yes.
And then we either go to my parents' house typically and spend the day with the family, or we just have a leisurely day here at the house. Uh-huh. But the first thing we do is we bless the house. So while we still have our Sunday best on, before we break down, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Everybody gathers together right at the front of the door, and I have holy water, and there's a book of blessings that you can use on blessing your home, and I bless that home,
which is totally legit. You can bless something that you own.
Right.
You have authority over it. It's not the same as a priest blessing your house, but you can bless your own house.
Right. And so I bless the house, bless the doors, make a sign of the cross on the doors, on the windows. And then bless my family with holy water. We use Epiphany water, which is great.
It's the good stuff.
Nuancing. What was it? Nuancing holy waters.
Yes.
with the Catholic Man Show. That's an old cut. That's a deep cut there. But that was something that I did because I saw the priest blessing the grounds on Sundays.
Uh-huh.
so they go around and bless the grounds all the time. It's like, well, why don't I do that in my domestic church?
Yeah.
So that's just one thing that we picked up. I mentioned not too long ago something that we do on the way to Mass is everybody gives one thing that they want to pray for.
Yeah.
To like at Mass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what is the intention that you're bringing to Mass? That helps the kids, you know, get prepared for Mass, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one thing that we did.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's also probably fun for the kids.
Yeah, because somebody gets to hold the water.
Right, you get
somebody
different
gets to
jobs.
hold the book.
So that's part of the things. Like, and now that I have 5 kids, I don't need 5 jobs yet, but I need 4.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so it gets hard to come up with like, I need to come up with something for everyone to do. I need a job for everybody because it keeps them all engaged.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, like, oh, I'm holding the water. Oh, I'm holding the book.
Right.
I am, you know, I lead the prayer.
Right.
You know, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
You got to have jobs, and then everyone is like focused, waiting to do their job well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's something that we do.
So, I thought of a Catholic hack. I'll save it for after the show.
Oh, okay. Okay, so here's another one I want to ask you about. How do you, so your oldest, Elizabeth, she just received confirmation and communion.
Uh-huh.
Mary is still too young. She's what, 4, 5?
She's 5.
5. How do you discern when, like, if they want to have a scapular, if they want to start carrying a rosary, like, what do you do there?
Well, I kind of wait for them to show interest in those things. I might suggest something to them. It's hard for the girls to carry rosaries. They don't have pockets.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah,
I just forget about, you know, this is a boy dad talking to a girl dad, which there are some differences there.
Right, yeah. So they don't have a consistent way to do that. They do have like a purse, but it's mostly play, and they leave it all over the place. You know, I actually wouldn't want them to put a rosary in it because it's liable to get lost.
Right.
So that's kind of something I wait for them. You know, I wear a scapular. You know, I have a consecrated to Our Lady, so I have a chain on my wrist. So they know what those things are. I know Luke. He every time he sees my chain, he asks me, "How do I get one of those?"
I know he really wants.
And I always tell him the same thing. Well, you got to consecrate yourself to Our Lady.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do I do that? Well, you got to say these prayers. And then I can do it? Yep. Talk to your dad about it.
Yeah, he keeps bringing it up to me right now, and I said, like, bud, you just got to get a little bit older.
Yeah.
Just a little bit older.
Because he's got to, like, that's a commitment. And you need to be old enough to, like, read the prayers by yourself. And,
right.
Which he could do, but, you know, sometimes it's like 15 minutes a day.
Right.
There are the St. Louis de Montfort one, anyway, has,
right,
like, a section of that, there's 40 days that, well, it takes a long time to say all these prayers, but yeah, so I mean, I just wait for them to show some interest in it.
Well, what do you do what did you do for Elizabeth once she reached confirmation and communion? Like, did you do anything that says, like, okay, now you can do this, or, you know, like we've talked about on the show
like
before.
With her prayer life?
No, not necessarily with her prayer life, but like now you,
like a rite of passage?
Kind of, yeah.
So
did you do anything?
No, we didn't. I don't really worry about, not that girls don't need rites of passage, but the thing is they don't need them nearly like boys do.
Yeah.
You know, girls have a natural rite of passage.
Mm-hmm.
A girl knows when she's becoming a woman.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt in her mind, right?
Right.
Which men and boys just don't have.
Right.
So I think it's more important to be intentional about that. I mean, part of what we did is, you know, now I am asking her to spend time in prayer every day. So that's kind of a rite of passage for her, which she was excited about because she sees me praying in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And so, oh yeah, now the excitement and zeal has worn off at this point.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, I'll ask her, did you say your prayers? No. All right, go make sure to go say those. Okay.
Right.
You know, and she's not like super jazzed about it anymore.
Right.
That's okay.
Right.
In fact, that's good. You have to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
You have to learn to pray anyway.
Right.
That's when it becomes a virtue, you know.
Right. Yeah. So typically, what we've talked about this on the show before, but we had a big canoe floating down the river deal with Luke once
Uh-huh.
he was able to receive communion, went to Holy Confession and Holy Communion. We have not done anything with Jude yet. I was waiting for the weather to kind of cooperate, maybe cool off just a little bit before we do something, just because it's been 117 degrees outside, and I didn't want to go camping or do those kind of things. But here in the fall, we will. I think we're going to go camping or something. But we try to do something like that. Do you have a I don't know if I've ever asked you this. I may have. I don't know. Do you have a family patron saint?
We don't.
Okay.
It would be Mary.
Oh.
I mean, like she's my favorite, and so that's who it would be. She's also Pamela's favorite, and
Do you have a favorite book of favorite book? The Bible.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we get it.
You could hang out with one person in history. Who would it be? Jesus.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. So we're out of time here on Catholic Radio. Go check us out, CatholicManShow.com. I'm going to ask you another question about starting rosaries with the family.
Okay.
And other traditions like processions,
Yeah.
the blessing of wine,
Uh-huh.
and a few other things.
All right.
We're on the Lord's team.
The winning side.
So raise your glass.
Cheers to Jesus.
One thing I think a lot of people do really well that I stink at
Yeah.
is processions in the home. Like, they're like Marian feast days, taking a statue of Mary and like going outside around your home and processing, or even up and down your house, or if you have a statue of of a saint that's his feast day to process around.
Yeah.
Like, I think those are fun, and those are really cool. Like Eucharistic processions, I'm a big fan of. I built a platform for the TU Newman Center to hold a big statue of Mary, for them to carry Mary around on feast days. Like, I like those kind of things. I just stink at them. I just don't ever think about that.
I mean, if you definitely want to make your non-Catholic neighbors think that you
You're
are
weird,
you should have like a family procession carrying a big statue of Mary down the middle of your neighborhood street.
It's so true. It is so true.
I mean, like,
that is true. But I like them. I don't know why.
I do too. I love processions.
I love processions.
It's like a parade.
I
It's
just-
like a holy parade.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a parade?
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
Next time I want to start throwing candy out.
I don't watch the Thanksgiving parade on television. I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
Okay? But if I was there, I would love to be there. Like, everybody loves a parade.
You know how they throw candy out at the people?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna start walking down my neighborhood, just throwing candy out at the lawns.
Get like blue candy.
Yeah, just here you go. Yeah, I'll see some people posting about like doing it, and I'm like, oh, that's such a good idea. I need to start doing that, and then it goes by, and I forget.
I mean, processions though are I mean, that's real evangelization.
Yeah.
Especially when you like.
and they're easy.
It needs to
it's
be
not
real.
Like, it's not like hard.
I mean, yeah, you get the Eucharist or a statue of Mary.
Yeah, I mean, you probably
You have the
can't-
priest do it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you should not go to your parish
Right.
without permission, open the tabernacle, and
Right.
take the Eucharist and do your own little procession.
Right.
That would be bad.
That would be not good.
Yeah. Be like a Catholic crime or something. But if you can get your parish to do it, and with the priest, like in a cassock or something fancier, I honestly don't know. I know like sometimes they wear the other outfits, You don't know what they're called, right? I mean, no. But they look awesome with the tent.
I just don't talk about things that I try not to talk about things that I don't know.
The tent, I forgot what that one's called. I do actually know what that one is. But I don't
The
remember.
canopy thing.
The canopy, yeah. It just is awesome. And when you see it, everybody looks like,
Right.
what is that?
What is going on
And
over
you
there?
can tell like something important is going on over there. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think we should.
You
do
want
it
to
more
weird?
often.
You want to weird your neighbors out? Have a procession.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something I heard not too long ago, like the idea, especially if you were trying to get into the habit of praying the rosary.
Yeah.
Before you start your car, start your rosary.
Uh-huh.
It's a great way to start to get a rosary in.
praying a rosary in the car is a great way to get in the habit of, like praying the rosary. Once you get into the habit of praying the rosary, then I think you need to try to start praying the rosary not in the car.
Right. Yeah. Especially like not doing other things.
Yeah, because I have prayed, I couldn't tell you how many rosaries, where I get to the end and realize, oh, I was praying the rosary. I forgot about that. You know, like
Right.
totally unconscious, because it's so habitual for me, which is
Right.
great. You know, it's a
good thing.
It's a habit. You know, it's somewhat virtuous.
Right.
But that I can do it without thinking. But the problem is I don't think about it. You know, sometimes it's just it's a problem.
What do you do? Do you do when you pass a cemetery in the car, pray for the souls?
Sometimes.
Yeah. So we've gotten a pretty good habit of
Not
doing that.
most of the time. Sometimes.
We've gotten in a pretty good habit of doing that as a family. As you pass a cemetery, to pray for all the souls of the faithful departed through the mercy of God, may they rest in peace. Make it the sign of the cross. Another easy one is making the sign of the cross as you pass your parish, a Catholic church. Why would we do that?
Out of reverence for the Eucharist and the tabernacle.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll give you
How many points?
1.
All right, you got none, so I'm winning.
So infinitely better.
So take that. That is a good segue to the Catholic hack that I thought of, and it's not like a hack that I thought of.
Okay, hold on. Before you do, can I
It's
give
about
one more?
the holy souls in purgatory. So let me squeeze it in right here.
Okay, very good.
I was just thinking about this the other day. When you pray, like if you're offering up sacrifices or praying for the souls in purgatory, and your prayers are the thing that get a soul out of purgatory,
Mm-hmm.
you know, now he's a saint in heaven. This is like reverse intercession. Instead of you having a devotion to that saint has a devotion to you.
Mm.
Right? He is going to spend his time in heaven. Like, you got him out of purgatory. He, out of justice.
What do you mean his time in heaven?
Well, you know what I mean.
I do. But I was just being.
There's
a jerk.
time in heaven. There's time in heaven. I don't
It's
know
not
what
the
it's
same.
like. I don't know what it is, but it's there.
It's eternity.
Yeah. It's like a crazy time. It's a party time is what it is. But think about that. Like a saint, we all have devotions to saints. But in this case, the saint has a devotion to you. Not in the same way, but like he's devoted to you. Right? He's going to be like, he's not skipping any days praying for you.
Right. He didn't skip leg day.
No, he's not.
And no one likes leg day.
Nobody likes leg day.
Yeah, so this is something that I'm not like super familiar with, but I'm going to say it anyway. We have a podcast. I can say whatever I want.
Yeah.
I have heard, I don't know how to back this up. There's no footnotes here. I'm not citing any sources.
The church is saying it.
The church is literally saying this. That there are certain saints that are like, they have a familial or like a love for certain people. Like they have a disposition to pray for certain people, specifically people who are struggling with the same types of things that they struggled with in their life.
Yeah.
And so there are some saints that would pray for you, even though that you don't know that they're you're not praying asking them for their intercession, but they're praying for you.
Sure.
But there are like, so if I have like my top 5 saints, right, and I list all 5 of them, there's a good chance that especially because all the 5 that I have are like all super holy. We're all super holy people.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot in common with me. They didn't have a lot in common with me.
Sure.
But there are certain saints who hopefully lived similar lives, to me, and like have this love and affection towards me because they know the struggles that I've gone through.
Yeah.
And so they pray for me. So I've heard that if you ask in prayer for our Lord to reveal to you the saints that have carried similar crosses to you, sometimes that'll be revealed to you.
Yeah.
And then you can, carry a devotion to them.
I mean,
have
that's
a devotion.
absolutely true. I mean, think about this. The vast majority, presumably, of the saints in heaven, nobody knows.
Right, yeah. It's like
I have no idea who they are.
Like tip of the iceberg is all the canonized
Those are the
saints.
canonized saints.
And
yeah.
then,
I mean,
and
so
there's-
it's not like the rest of them don't pray for anybody on earth, right? They do all the time.
mm-hmm.
So it's exactly like what you're telling. I mean, even though you're not asking for their prayers, they are still praying for you. I mean, just because we don't know who they are, the church triumphant.
Do you think that it's more
still-
efficacious from those saints than other saints?
Yeah, I do. Because Mary's prayers, 100% answered.
Right.
Why? Because of her extraordinary holy.
Right.
So, yes, the higher degree of sanctity, I believe. of
Well,
the-
that right there is a different thing than I asked.
So for the saint.
Yeah.
right?
But just because that person can understand where I am in my life doesn't mean that person is higher.
Okay. I thought you meant like do holier saints have holier prayers.
No. I was saying that even if like Saint A is the one that can.
Yeah. So what I would say is that they would be more fervent.
They would be more fervent
in their prayer for you.
Right. Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's awesome too. I mean, that's just such a cool part of
I mean, the thing is, the saints, they're people.
Right.
We forget that.
Right.
They're people.
Right.
Would a person do that here? Yeah. I mean, is that because of the goodness in their nature, or is that because of the depravity in their nature? It's obviously like, oh, I'm like more passionate about praying for you in this situation, and that's not a depraved thing, right? This is just part of human nature. So when that nature is perfected in heaven, it doesn't, it's not going to be worse.
Worse. Right. Yeah.
It's going to be more.
I can't wait to meet. I pray that I get to meet like St. Louis and Montfort.
Yeah.
And be like, bro, what were you doing that everybody hated you so much?
Yeah.
Like,
you were a little crusty, weren't you?
yeah. Like, what is going on? Like, everybody hated you.
Yeah, dude. I want to meet Pio.
Yeah, because people didn't like him either.
Right. When it's funny,
He couldn't even like celebrate
him already.
Yeah, he couldn't even
I've
celebrate
always loved
mass.
him. One time I was saying a novena to
A
him.
public mass. Sorry.
Yeah, he did at the end.
Yeah, but like for a long time. Yeah.
I was saying a novena to Padre Pio, and I was and then like I had
Novena means
prayer for 9 days.
just for,
Yeah, very good. So, and then I was on a work trip at the very end, and so for the last like 3 days I was in New York, and I was just going to just like every day. Oh,
probably so.
I also prayed I was going to be a boy, just
Right.
just my guess.
Right.
If she was a boy, we were going to name her Joseph.
Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph.
Joseph. And then but she was a girl, praise God. And so I was telling Joseph, like, hey, bro, I tried to give you one.
Right.
It's up. Look, you're going to have to make it. If you want it to happen, you're going to have to make it happen. All right, Joseph?
Oh.
It's on you. It's on you now, okay? I tried. I was going to do it. I was ready to do my part.
You're asking him for like an immaculate conception?
No.
You cooperate.
Just in the future.
You'll cooperate.
He's got to like pull some strings or something. Look, I don't know how they do it, okay?
To the economy of grace, like when you start getting into like economy of grace, it is mind-blowing. Like it's mind-numbing actually.
Right. I mean, do they have to like put a cover sheet on a form, like an official official request?
Just the facts.
Right.
I used to have. Oh, never mind. That's
so
stupid.
anyway,
That's a
that was
stupid
like
thing.
the first time I've ever gone to a saint and be like, "Hey, I tried, Joseph. I tried. You're gonna have to come through. All right, ball's in your court.
Yeah. So
I'm ready and willing.
So Haley is pregnant.
Uh-huh.
We mentioned that on the show recently. What's going on with that error message right there? Is Cubase still going?
No.
Okay. Man, this episode.
Okay, Facebook is.
Okay. Man, this episode, I don't know. Maybe this is just not an episode that we're meant to air.
It's all right.
Okay.
Keep going.
So, Haley's pregnant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We found out like not too long ago there was some serious complications. We thought that she was miscarrying, which is just absolutely we've done an episode on miscarriage.
Yeah.
It's absolutely devastating, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you've already had several miscarriages.
Especially for the women.
Especially for the
and
men. Yeah, I mean,
for the men too, but the women, it's very personal.
Right, and just this time, we got past that 12 weeks. So we were really excited.
Right.
We found out when we were at our Ireland trip, for our 10-year anniversary, that she was pregnant. Like so we had a lot of windshield time, so we were talking about it a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we were just like talking about names, talking about how, you know, how awesome it's going to be to have another child, and you know, just excited, you know. And man, we had this time where we thought we were miscarrying, and man, it was just crushing. It was just you know, you got to be that, you know, you got to be there for your wife, you got to be there for, you know, for your children, you know, for your child. Like you got to try to be the strong, you know, support. And like you're just like kind of crushed, you know.
Yeah.
And so I remember, you know, the moment that, you know, we thought she was miscarrying, and so I just go over to my pray-do, which is my kneeler, which is right in front, you know, right at the foot of our bed, and you know, I'm just praying there, and I'm asking for the intercession of. I start making a litany of saints that I'm asking for their intercession, and you know, just saying like, even if, you know, this happens, may it be for the glory of God, you know. Right. But man, it's easy to say, right? It's easy to say on a podcast. It's easy to say talking to your friends that this is what you're doing. You're trying your best to hold it all together. It's another thing to live it.
Yeah.
So we do this. You know, I'm sitting there. I'm praying. I text message you, you know, asking you to please start praying. I text message. I also text message Deacon, and I just felt like this overcoming like peace. Not that I thought that it wasn't going to happen, but just a peace.
Yeah.
Which when people say a lot of times like peace, is like, oh, I know this is going to be okay. I didn't know it was going to be okay or not. Like I did not know. Like
you just knew that it was going to be okay. Like you're going to get through it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just didn't know.
God will be with you.
Right.
No matter what happens.
And like when you go through this process as well, you never know. Like it's hard to talk to your wife about, you know, or not, you know, to be that comfort.
So much easier just to say it on a podcast.
So much easier.
Everybody.
In front of all three people who are listening. Anyway, praise God.
She wasn't having a miscarriage.
She was not having a miscarriage. What was God trying to tell me here? You know, what was God like wanting to do? And I don't know. Looks like that did we lose everything? Maybe. I don't know. Man, everything is going down, huh?
We should shut it down.
Okay. Anyway,
praise God.
The people who, still got a baby. People who are praying for me, I appreciate it very much.
We're on the Lord's team.
The winning side.
So raise your glass.